We just knew they were going to come back out. We were just waiting for them, just all three of them come out.
A Ramona woman is sharing her story this evening after surviving a house fire last week that killed her mother, her niece, and her 6-year-old great-nephew. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lori Fulbright.
And I'm Craig Dave. Jane George, Lindsay Bowline, and 6-year-old Laken Bowline all died in the fire. Stephanie Smith tells News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter she did all she could to help, but the fire trapped her family inside. Reagan?
Craig and Lori, Stephanie says this has all just been a nightmare. Of course, she's thankful to be alive, but her grief is overwhelming. She and her little 5-year-old great-nephew were the only ones who made it out alive.
I am hanging by a thread pretty much right now. It's been the toughest thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life.
Stephanie Smith says she's still in shock from the horrible tragedy that took the lives of 3 of her family members just 10 days ago. Stephanie says she fell asleep on the couch that night and woke up to popping noises and smoke everywhere.
Flames were going up the wall. The ceiling started coming down. I was yelling.
Stephanie says she saw sparks and immediately knew it was an electrical fire from a space heater.
I could hear them, but I couldn't get to them. So I thought I gotta call 911.
Stephanie was able to get out into the front yard, then saw her little 5-year-old great-nephew running to her wearing nothing but shorts.
He told me, Mama said this was life or death, and she dropped me.
She says her niece Lindsay did all she could to try to save both her boys. Firefighters battled the freezing temperatures and lack of water, but couldn't save the others. Stephanie says her mother, Jane, was a godly woman.
Anything that I know that she would want come out of this is that people make sure they get their lives right and their walk with God right. So giving and loving and also a pain in the rear, but I'd do anything to have that pain back.
She says Lindsay and Laken had just moved in a couple months ago and were bundles of joy.
They're just amazing and missed so much.
Stephanie wants to thank the first responders because she knows they did all they could in those horrible conditions. A GoFundMe has been set up for the family, and I put a link to that on our website. Reagan Ledbetter, Oklahoma's own News on 6.